What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 317 of Cocktails in the War Room. I am your host, Mistress Carrie. Welcome to the War Room. I have a very, very obnoxious puppy pug in with me tonight. Say hi, Friday. Say hi to everybody. Yeah, I know. You want to make it all about you, and you have been wound up all day driving me crazy. You want to say hi to everyone? Come on, Wednesday. Before anything further happens, let's just turn the pug cam on so you can get the introductions. This is Friday for anybody that's new to the War Room. If you are new, welcome. Come here, Wednesday. Come here. And let us know in the comments that you're new to Cocktails in the War Room, and let us know where you're watching from so that we can welcome you properly. Is there a typo in the opening scrolls? I know, Bish. Exactly. What's up, Denise and Donna? Happy birthday, says Brett to Friday. There's Wednesday right there. At Wednesday, the Goth Pug is where you can find Wednesday on Instagram. She shares that page with Friday, who just turned 1 on Sunday, right? Did you just turn 1? Come over here. Come say hi to everybody. You just turned 1, and you've been a total pill ever since. Yes, I know. So everybody gets a little pug love. Donna says, happy belated birthday. Bish says, what's up to my people? Keith says, hello. New here. Acton Mass on Instagram. What's up? Steals Mooch. I can only see your username when you're watching on Instagram. So you got to let me know in the comments. And God Nahay says Street Up 49. So if you're watching on Instagram, you got to let me know what your real name is, because it doesn't show up the way it does on Facebook. Okay, Friday, can I just have the cord to my headphones? Okay, if I can have the cord to my headphones, you can sit on my lap like this. Is that where you want to be? Just right there? Huh? And this is about the time that the dogs take over the show. Cocktails in the War Room. It's professional for like 30 seconds sometimes, and then the dogs take over, especially the puppy, and then it just goes downhill from here. So what's up, Sherry, Carol, Jonathan, Christina, been here since the start. It's Shelby. Oh, hi, Shelby. Sorry, I can't see your name on Instagram, so that's why I didn't know it was you. So Friday turned 1 over the weekend. So I have a 7-year-old and a 1-year-old pug at home, which is a lot. The 7-year-old's like, she just went in the other room because she's like, you know what? Wednesday's like, I've had it, because Friday is a lot. Do you want to say hi to everyone? Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. Oh, I know. You're so sleepy. It's exhausting being such a pain in Mummy's ass. I know. So I got to say hi to everybody watching on Twitch, everybody watching on YouTube, everybody watching on Instagram, and everybody watching on Facebook. We get together every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern to talk about music, to talk about the world, to talk about life, to talk about whatever the hell is going on. And I tell you who's on the podcast this week. So I got that announcement coming up, run down all of the tour announcements that came out this week. There's a lot going on. Carol says the Sox are up 2-1. So first of all, the Red Sox, I don't know where you're watching from, but if you're watching in New England, you know that every Saturday for the last 12 Saturdays, it's rained. That's not an exaggeration. It's a fact. And it's supposed to rain this Saturday. And the Red Sox came out and said that if it rains this Saturday, it sets a new record at Fenway for 13 weeks in a row that it would have rained, which is just insane. Also, speaking of sports, the Bruins have their 30th head coach today. He was welcomed at the TD Garden, which is crazy. Hello, Annette. Keith says, when is anything we do professional? Not very much. Not very much at all. You're a professional at having nothing on, says Jonathan. Yeah, Bish, we got to talk about the Army birthday. There's a lot to talk about. on the show tonight. And I do want to let you know that I'm under a deadline to get a bunch of recording done tonight. So I'm going to try and make this a quick show tonight because I got to get back in MCHQ and get some stuff done. So for everybody that joins me every week, this is basically, there are musicians and actors, people that go on social media and they do AMAs, right? The Ask Me Anythings, where they'll go on for like a half hour and answer your questions. And basically that's what Cocktails in the War Room is every Tuesday night. We've done it 317 times. We started on March 14th of 2020. We did 80 nights in a row during the pandemic. And then we turned the War Room into a weekly thing where we get together on Tuesday nights. New episodes of the podcast come out on Wednesday. And so it's a chance for you guys to ask me questions about music and bands and radio, and for us just to talk about life and just everything that's going on. So let's see. Michael Cole says, number one prospect in Major League Baseball got called up to the Sox yesterday. Two rib double first at bat tonight. Yeah, I saw the video where they like smuggled him out of Polar Park in like a laundry bin, which is insane. I love that you guys love that I'm doing a quickie tonight. That makes me happy. What did we do before this, Christina? I have no idea. Tuesday nights. Well, before this, Tuesday nights, I would have been in Boston in the old AF offices, like working. And now I'm hanging out here with you guys. Alcohol involved with both, just so we're clear. So you guys obviously met the dogs. There's Friday. She's starting to chill out now. If you're a regular on the show, she goes crazy for a little, and within 5 or 10 minutes, she's going to be completely unconscious. And then she may or may not wake up for mail call, depending on if there's any treats for her or not. For anybody that's new to the War Room that comments and says, I miss you so much on the radio, it shocks me how many people still say that, considering I'm back on the radio and have been for a really long time in a bunch of different places, including 98 Rock in Charleston, South Carolina, Charleston's Best Rock, 10 to 3 every weekday. You can download the 98 Rock app, stream the station from anywhere at my98rock.com. This is a combination of new and classic rock, and we do a thing every weekday at noon, which we call the 98 Rock Lunchbox. And every day it's different, the noon hour. So one day it's songs from 2012. The next day it's songs that are titled after women's names. Today it was songs that are misquoted, like excuse me while I kiss this guy, or wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night, like people that literally hear the song lyrics wrong. So if you listen every weekday at noon to the 98 Rock Lunchbox, it's different every day. Now, if you want to listen in the afternoon, I have a couple options for you. You can listen to me every weekday from 3 to 7 on 100 FM The Pike in Worcester, Mass. This is more classic rock leaning. We have a lot of awesome shows coming up, including the Hair Fest, Grunge Fest, Rock Fest, tons of shows at Indian Ranch in Webster. And you guys will know that all of the events, all the concerts, everything that I talk about are up on the concert page at mistresscarrie.com. And all of the website links and everything you need to know are also up on the website. Just click under shows. It says radio, and it's all right there. You can listen via the free Pike app or stream the station at pikefm.com, and that's every weekday starting at 3. Also, every weekday starting at 3, you can hear me on 106.3 The Bone, which is in Portland, Maine. This is a lot more new music. And so if you are a lover of the old AAF with all of the new music and a lot of the harder music, this might be more your style. That's every weekday afternoon in Portland, Maine. You can download the Bone app or go to 1063thebone.com and stream my show from 3 to 7 every weekday. And most recently, you can hear me doing mornings at Laser 99.3 and 98.5 in Springfield, Mass. You can download the Laser app. You can go to laser993.com, but you can hear me there every weekday from 6 to 10. And that includes the 90s at 9, which is 3 songs from the 90s with trivia and whatever every weekday at 9 o'clock. You coming up Wednesday? Come on. Stop sitting there looking at me like that. Just come up. Let me rub your head. Not you, Friday. Not you. It's not all about you. Sometimes Wednesday wants to come up too. I want to let you know about a couple events that are coming up, and there are more events getting scheduled right now. So as soon as stuff gets announced, I will let you know. But the USMC Scout Sniper Association third annual Skydive Boogie is happening next month on July 12th at Jumptown Skydiving in Orange, Mass. This is not just for Marines. This is not just for snipers. This is for veterans of all conflicts and wars. There are obviously physical limitations when it comes to skydiving. Not so much, whether or not you're an amputee or something like that, but just obviously weight-wise, there's restrictions because there's weight restrictions on the equipment. But otherwise, they're going to be offering discounted skydives for veterans. And if you go to the concert and event calendar at mistresscarrie.com, go to July 12th. Not only will you find the link to register for a jump, you can book the time slot that you want, but there'll also be a link if you're not able to make it to buy t-shirts to support the Scout Sniper Association. So this is the official event shirt. It's $30. The money goes to the Scout Sniper Association. And then there's also info on the Hogs Call after party, which is happening at Red Apple Farm in Phillipston, Massachusetts. And that's going to be later on in the afternoon and into the evening. Bish says, Carrie, what's sleep? No idea, Bish. No idea. I used to sleep. I got a lot of sleep. No, don't remember when. Actually, I was going to say during COVID. I took a lot of naps during COVID, but you guys will remember because you were there with me through the whole thing. COVID was when we built MCHQ, where we built the new graphics and artwork, where we built mistresscarrie.com, where we designed the merch. We did cocktails in the war room. Like, we didn't get a lot of sleep back then either. So, Michael Cole says, use the apps that the radio stations have. Yeah, you can listen from anywhere. So take me with you everywhere. No naked skydiving. We're not even getting into that whole thing again. No, it's not happening. Let's see. Can you post your show on your Facebook page? Stephanie wants to know which show, Stephanie, the War Room or the radio shows? Didn't make the connect. Donna, what connection did you not make? Shelly says, I will come to support. My dad was a Marine. That is fantastic. It is going to be family friendly, and kids love to watch skydivers. They love to watch the planes take off. There's a safe fenced area where spectators can just hang out. If the weather's nice, Orange, Massachusetts, Jumptown is right off the highway. So it's a great motorcycle ride if you're looking for a motorcycle riding destination. She said hog. Hog is a term for Marine snipers. That's why they call it that. Hunter of gunmen. That's why they call it that. So if you guys want to come out, it's going to be a lot of fun. You have to be 18 to skydive. My bonus kids made sure they asked about that. And then also there's just certain restrictions. And you can read all about that at jumptown.com. All of the links are up there for the FAQs. Stephanie wants to know the links to the radio shows. I can. Yeah, I thought that they were already up on Facebook, but maybe not. But yeah, I will put them up there, not knowing that they weren't there. Sure. I know if you go to the Mistress Carrie Facebook page and you go to where it says like about and work, they're all up there. So I know that for sure. Donna says cocktails in the war room started on Steak and BJ Day. Oh, I know, because I remember us joking about it, and it was so long. It was like 5+ years ago now, which just doesn't make any sense to me. I did tonight, however, getting ready for the show, dig out this oldie but goodie. Remember this one? Oh, yeah. I'm going to have a little old school Moscow Mule tonight. Shane says Guar, Dope, and Static X at the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom tomorrow night. For sure, going into work late on Thursday. That's part of the reason why I wore my Static X t-shirt tonight, because the guys from Static X are in New England. So I want to say what's up to all of the guys. Love listening to you on the Pike and seeing you at different shows. Rock on, says Eddie0779 on Instagram. Where is Wednesday? Jessica wants to know. She's literally sitting right there on the floor because, hold on, let me turn the pug cam on. Because Friday's sitting right here. Wednesday, come on. What's mommy got? I did bring cookies to bribe. Here she comes. There she comes. You guys want to have a little treat? There you go. Good girls. Wednesday's always around. It's just that Friday is always trying to get her to play, and she'll like nip at her jowls, or she'll go after like the back of her leg, like her Achilles, to try and get her to chase her and stuff. And sometimes Wednesday just doesn't want to have it. And she's just like, really, kid? See, here she goes. Sometimes she just wants to lick her face, and then she gets tired and she snuggles, and Friday is so nice. And Wednesday's like, oh, goody, I'll snuggle with you. And other times, Wednesday just wants to get away from Friday because she's a total pain in the ass sometimes. But she's right there. Don't worry. Wednesday hasn't gone anywhere. Thank you, Carrie, for the love. Love your show. I grew up listening to you. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. Let's see. Yes, Shelly, I know. I have to bribe them with cookies. That's what you do. That's what I have to do. What's up, Iron Bar? How are you? Enjoying retirement in Florida? Hold on, let me turn my camera on. How are you? You know that Mr. C is retired now, so maybe you could give him some pointers about keeping himself busy, because he's officially retired now as of May 31st. I love all of the Instagram posts of like the sunsets and the beach and all of that stuff. I'm living vicariously through you guys. That's number one. And number two, when the fuck are you guys coming to visit? Will you please come up and visit? I got a room for you. You can pug snuggle. Look at, how can you not want to come and snuggle them? Look at those faces. You know you want to. And for anybody that doesn't know who I'm talking about right now, you guys know in the early days of the War Room that Jonathan Hill, that was in here in the War Room with us, that was on the podcast. That's who I'm talking to right now. He says, congratulations. Bish says, Carrie, I'm 6'3", 220, so too big to skydive? Nope. I think the cutoff weight for skydiving is 240 or 245 because the equipment has to hold both people, right? The instructor, the tandem master, and the student. So obviously the bigger the student, the smaller the instructor. And there's just a certain point where they don't make instructors that small. So the combined weight of the instructor and the tandem student has to make it under the weight limit of the equipment. And so 6'3" doesn't matter. I've seen guys that were almost 7 feet tall go skydiving. So that's not a big deal at all. But you're under 245 or 240, which is what I believe the cutoff is. So yeah, you can absolutely go skydiving if you want. And it's going to be the whole purpose of these like veteran skydiving events. Skydiving is not a sport that happens quickly, right? It like golf doesn't happen quickly. It's one of those things where you're waiting for the plane to take off. You're waiting for the classes. It's a beautiful day, so everybody's hanging around outside, and it gives everybody a chance. You're strangers, but you know you're all veterans or veteran supporters or veteran spouses or family members. And so it gives people a chance to network, to get to know other people. These skydiving events that I've done in the past with other organizations, I've watched guys go, oh, wait, you were in Fallujah at the same time I was. Or, oh, no, wait, I was in Baghdad. I must have just missed you. And it's a great way for veterans to network. And then you have this intense adrenaline bonding experience that you do together. And usually what happens is people will go and make a skydive, and then the next year they want to come out and support the people that are jumping then. Or they want to come back and go, you know what? I want to make one jump a year, and I'm going to do it at this veterans event. And that's really cool too. So, but yeah, you totally fit. Keith says the man cub graduated from high school this Saturday. Keith, my bonus daughter graduated this year too. It's just crazy. Just checking in from my weekly dose of MC in the War Room. What's up, Ryan? All right, so you got to look at the pugs. I told you where we're watching, where you can hear the radio show. And I also told you about the skydiving event and the t-shirt that you can get that you can just order right off of the event calendar. Just go to July 12th. And also later this year on September 20th, I'm going to have a huge, big booth up at the Johnny Appleseed Festival in my hometown of Leominster, birthplace of Johnny Appleseed. So, I will definitely be there for that. And there are more events that are getting scheduled. Like I said, they're just not all confirmed yet. So cocktail recipe of the week. You guys know we brought it back last week. We like to go over like a cocktail recipe every week just to give you some ideas, especially with the summer coming up. Maybe you're entertaining a little, sitting by the pool, or you want to make a drink to be able to take to like a 4th of July barbecue and you want to have it pre-mixed or whatever. This sounded great. It's called the Viva La Donna. It is tequila, passion fruit juice, orange juice, lime juice. So it says Viva La Donna, 2 ounces of tequila, 2 ounces of passion fruit, 2 ounces of orange juice, and a half an ounce of fresh lime juice. Shake the ingredients and strain them into an ice-filled highball glass. And one of the things we always do when we talk about cocktail recipes on the show is we talk about garnishes, because that's half the fun of the drinks is that you get snacks, obviously. So for this one, I mean, a cherry is always welcome. But if it's going to have lime juice, I would say lime wedge, a piece of passion fruit. If you have one, definitely a slice of orange floating on the top. Or if you wanted to get fancy and make like fancy ice cube trays. Hey, stop that back there. I don't know what you're looking for Friday, but knock it off. I got Wednesday over here. I got Friday over here. Are you being good? Of course you are. Of course you are. Friday. Yes, I know. We're talking about drinks right now. Do you have to climb in my lap every time? Every time? So that's what I would do with the Viva La Donna, is that I would definitely maybe make some fancy, I mean, you know, here in the War Room, I have dick-shaped ice cube trays because you guys sent them to me. So there you go. All right, let's recap last week's podcast episode. I told you guys that I'm on a deadline and I have a little bit of work to do, so I can't run late tonight on the show. Last week's episode, number 261, features Michael Paulson from Volbeat. Their new album, God of Angels Trust, came out this past Friday. Of course, they've got the big tour coming in August with a stop in Mansfield, Mass. They're going to be up in Maine. They're going to be in New Hampshire with Hailstorm. And Michael Paulson told me a really funny story. You know, anytime I have a guitarist on the show, I always ask them about their first guitars, because it's like your first love, right? Everybody remembers their first. Some guys still, or some guitarists still have them. Others regret trading it away as an upgrade to get a better guitar. But everybody's first guitar has a story. And Michael Paulson's story about his first guitar is really funny. The story about the second guitar adds to the funniness of the first story. So if you haven't heard Michael Paulson from Volbeat, he also talked about his love of all things Black Sabbath, and talked about a lot about Lizzie Hale and about women in rock. And he talked about some of the inspiration for some of the songs on the new album, God of Angels Trust. So if you're a Volbeat fan, definitely make sure you check that out. Episode 261 of the podcast came out last week. This week, episode 262, Keith Wallen from Breaking Benjamin returns to the show. Now, not only is the guitarist in Breaking Benjamin, but he also releases solo music just as Keith Wallen. That's his solo band right there. And so he came on the show this week, not only to talk about his new solo stuff, but also the big co-headlining tour with 3 Days Grace and all of the stuff that Breaking Benjamin has been doing, because they've been really busy, and also talking about the progress of new music as well. So that goes live at midnight tonight. Keith Wallen, episode 262 of the Mistress Carrie podcast. Do I hear pineapple, says Annette. Yeah, if it's going to have like passion fruit and stuff, you know, a fancy sword with like lime, orange, pineapple, a cherry, just make a whole skewer with fruit in there. It's the best. Bish says it's the only dick that doesn't shrink in the cold. Bish, until you put it in the drink and then it starts to melt and then it goes, ooh. So it does shrink eventually. Let's see. Travis says, yes, I am a Volbeat fan. Late, but plenty of time for double horns. What's up, Travis? All right, I want to remind you guys that when you subscribe to the podcast, you get the weekly episodes. I am going to tell you that a bonus episode is coming later this week of the podcast as well. The bonus episodes come whenever I get them, but the weekly full-length episodes come every Wednesday, and the sit rep you get every Monday through Friday. That's around 5 minutes long. Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 9. It just depends on what's going on, but it's a rundown of all of the music headlines, entertainment stuff, whether it's music technology based, new albums, tours getting announced, band drama. Sometimes in the case of Jared Leto over the last week, it's legal stuff, which usually is reserved for Wes Scantlin from Puddle of Mudd. But Jared Leto is being charged by 9 different women for harassment and inappropriate behavior, which is kind of crazy. So the sit rep you get every Monday through Friday on the podcast. There's also miniature versions of the sit rep that air all day on Laser 99.3 and 98.5 and all day on 106.3 The Bone. So I'm doing my best to keep you up to date with everything that's going on. I'm moving now. So you can listen anywhere you get your podcast. Just search whatever podcast app you use. Holding strong at 149 countries listening to the podcast. So someday we'll get to 150. It's not this week, but someday. If you're celebrating your birthday today, first of all, happy birthday. Second of all, you're sharing it with Jimmy Chamberlain from the Smashing Pumpkins, Kim Deal from the Pixies, Judy Garland, and Howlin' Wolf were all born on your birthday. Happy unbirthday, Keith, and also a little belated happy first birthday to Friday, who is back here in the studio acting like a normal tired dog now. Good girl. Happy birthday, everybody says, Love Bug. Now that you're not hyper anymore, you're actually a nice dog. Yeah, you're actually a good dog when you're not being a complete and total psycho. Yeah, see? There you go. All right. So, happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday, Friday. All right, let's talk about some music headlines because a big announcement came last Friday afternoon about the Back to the Beginning final Black Sabbath and Ozzy show at Villa Park on July 5th in Birmingham, England. We knew that they were going to live stream this thing. Sharon Osbourne said the only reason she even got all 4 original members of Black Sabbath back together is because they're doing it for charity. The tickets sold out in 5 seconds, so the only way to make money for the charities is to sell merch, which they're doing. They're selling T-shirts, and to sell the stream, which is $29.99. You can get details at backtothebeginning.com, which is right here. And the stream starts on July 5th at 10 a.m. Eastern. And if you buy the stream, you get access to the show for the entire weekend. My assumption would be after that they're going to edit it down and release it as some kind of DVD, Blu-ray, download, box set kind of thing with merch and whatever to raise even more money for the charity. But they have now, the T-shirt package is $64.98. If you just want to watch the stream, it's $29.99. Sharon Osbourne getting pressed today because she got into a fight with a manager from a band that was either scheduled to be on the show and then got pulled off before the announcement, or is on this list and is now off, but we don't know who it is. But I guess the manager got into a big fight with Sharon and she was like, then don't play the fucking show. And that was it. So drama, but we don't know with who. Also, speaking of live streams, we were talking about it a little bit last week. I got the weekends confused. The first 30th anniversary Warped Tour weekend is this coming weekend in Washington, D.C., and they are going to live stream the entire weekend on the Warped Tour YouTube channel. So that's happening this weekend as well. Some shows got announced. Here's all the stuff that's happening at the Garden. Obviously, Shinedown and Bush with Morgan Wade. Shinedown announcing this week that the new album is 95% done. The Bush album comes out the day before the show, I Beat Loneliness. And Also, Brent Smith from Shinedown, the final Lynyrd Skynyrd performance live at the Ryman is coming out later this month, but they released the performance of Simple Man that Lynyrd Skynyrd did with Brent Smith from Shinedown. So you can watch that up on YouTube as well. Linkin Park, Ghost, Stevie Nicks, Nine Inch Nails, Eric Clapton, and Bryan Adams. Also, the DCU Center, we know that Silver Scream Con, the convention, is happening. Sleep Token, congratulations to these guys. They got their first #1 song with Emergence this week, and they sold out the DCU Center in like 5 minutes. And then Ice Nine Kills, smack dab in the middle of Silver Scream Con, is going to have their big annual show with Dayseeker and the Funeral Portrait and Mest, and that's going to be in the arena at the DCU Center. So Ice Nine Kills taking over the entire DCU this year. Big Night Live has got Everclear, Local H, and Sponge celebrating the 30th anniversary of Sparkle and Fade. But this tour just got announced today. These tickets go on sale Friday, November 5th, from Ashes to New at Big Night Live in Boston. They announced a big, massive national tour. The Xfinity Center in Mansfield has got everybody from the Simple Minds and Styx to Rod Stewart, The Offspring, who are coming out with a graphic novel, by the way, which is very cool. Volbeat, Hailstorm, and The Ghost Inside. We talked about that earlier. The Doobie Brothers, Billy Idol and Joan Jett, Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, Falling in Reverse. Falling in Reverse has got a new bass player. Is it just for this tour? We don't know. But right now, Falling in Reverse is on tour in Europe, and Dan Laskowitz, DL from Bad Wolves, the lead singer, is actually playing bass and singing backup vocals for Falling in Reverse right now on the road. So, hey, stop that. And Papa Roach and Rise Against with Under Oath are going to be at the Xfinity Center later this summer. Here are a bunch of shows that are happening, including Clutch this week at the Lynn Auditorium, Buckcherry at Mohegan Sun coming up this weekend, Sleep Theory at the Sinclair, Baby Metal, Weird Al, Incubus, Def Leppard, Coldplay, David Lee Roth up at Hampton Beach, Sully Erna solo from Godsmack at the Mohegan Sun, Sun Patio, George Thorogood, and also Bryan Adams at Mohegan. Leader Bank Pavilion has got Toto, Christopher Cross, and Men at Work, the Goo Goo Dolls, and Chicago this summer. And the Fenway Concert Series has got My Chem, the Lumineers, and the Joe Perry Project opening up for The Who. That's happening August 26th. Hopefully at some point it'll stop raining for all of these shows outdoors. In this moment, Mushroomhead, Atreyu are all at the Palladium, and the one-day metal and hardcore festival is back this year at the Palladium outdoors. So all of these shows have been added to the concert and events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. You keep freezing, says Shelby. Looks like she is in slow-mo. I don't know why. The internet's working fine. I have no idea what's going on. Mr. Cole says, looks good here, good pick and sound, but Bish says you keep glitching. Let's see. Does the Foo Fighters have a new drummer yet? No, nothing that's been announced. So many great shows, says Shelly. I know, it's crazy. What's up, Christine, on Facebook? Oh, no, on YouTube. Hello, Christine. Yeah, that's why you've got to get a backstage pass. That's why you've got to listen to my radio shows, because there's a lot of ways to get tickets. Roadrunner has got Dinosaur Jr. coming up next month and Garbage coming up in September. MGM Music Hall at Fenway. Queens of the Stone Age are there tonight and tomorrow night. The Pixies are there next month. Alabama Shakes is there. The Black Keys, Chevelle, Mudvayne, and Static X, who are coming back. Seether and Daughtry with POD. Hey, what are you doing? Stop causing trouble, please. Here. Do you want this? Or do you want to eat a dick? Do you want to eat a dick? Do you want to eat a dick? Here. Or do you want to smoke a blunt? All right. Those Seether and Daughtry and POD tickets, by the way, went on sale last Friday. So there you go. I hope Friday's eating the balls. House of Blues has got Less Than Jake, Architects, Bruce Dickinson, who just announced his solo album Balls to Picasso is coming out on limited edition splatter vinyl. And I love that album so much. There's a song on it called Tears of the Dragon that I just absolutely love. So if you're a Bruce Dickinson fan, he's going to be touring on his new solo album, Mandrake Project, but Balls to Picasso is getting reissued, which is cool. Avatar and Nothing More, which got scheduled for next February already, which is crazy. Paradise Rock Club, they are updating their concert listings. City Winery is doing the same thing. The stage at Suffolk Downs added a bunch of stuff, including the announcement today about Turnstile. Those tickets go on sale this Friday. They'll be at the stage at Suffolk Downs on September 20th. Iggy Pop's going to be there September 25th. Slightly Stupid is going to be there next week on the 20th. And the 2-day Irish Culture, Music, and Gathering Festival session is going to be there with the Dropkick Murphys and the Pogues this summer. So lots going on at Suffolk Downs. A big week for new releases this week. Baby Metal, the new Buckcherry, The Cure releasing mixes of The Lost World, The Grateful Dead's greatest hits, Metallica's Load box set and reissue is coming out on Friday. Neil Young and Chrome Hearts, Talking to the Trees, Queens of the Stone Age, Alive at the Catacombs. Did you see this thing? They released the concert video last Friday. They're releasing the album this week. They did an unplugged performance in the famous catacombs under Paris that are filled with like thousands of skulls and skeletons. Craziness. The pictures are insane. Van Morrison, Remembering Now, and The Funeral Portrait releasing Greetings from Suffocate City, the deluxe edition. Mail call this week, no mail call. So sorry, Wednesday. Right, Friday, no mail call this week. We got a ton of stuff last week, the old AAF stuff. I do want to let you guys know that we are in the final design stages of new I Rode with Mistress Carrie helmet stickers and the original Property of Mistress Carrie bumper stickers. We've redesigned them. Obviously, the AAF logo is getting taken out of them, but these stickers are in the final stages. We're picking out colors and inks. Backstage Pass, we did our live stream on Sunday night that we do every month, is that you get exclusive concert ticket giveaways. So right now, Backstage Pass holders have access to Ghost tickets at the Garden, the Summer of Loud tickets, and Pantera tickets at the Xfinity Center. So when you get a Backstage Pass, you can find out who's going to be on the podcast. You get travel blog updates. We talked about it over the weekend. I'm not ready to announce anything yet, but I am going someplace passport required, and I am working on the logistics of taking you guys with me. So as soon as I can figure all of that out, I will let you guys know. You also get early access to event information, merch, discount codes, and more. So go to mistresscarrie.com and click the Patreon logo, or just go to patreon.com/mistresscarrie and get yourself a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass. And here's all the places that you can find me on social. Just like you need a reminder, you obviously have found me on social, but all of these links are on mistresscarrie.com. Hey, stop digging in the couch. And all of the apps where you can listen to my different radio shows, depending on where you want to listen. Somebody asking, are you going to make Property of Mistress Carrie shirts? The goal is yes, but we have to finalize the artwork, and we're going to make the stickers first because so many people ask me for the stickers. So the stickers are getting made first, but once the artwork is done, then yes, the goal is to make Property of Mistress Carrie shirts as well. So let's see. Yes, Bish, that's the answer is yes, we're going to make them as shirts for sure. Hey, will you stop digging in the couch? Stop it. No. Stop that. You were napping so nicely, and now you're being a pain puppy again. Come here. You can just sit here with me. Stop digging in the couch. You're being a scooch. That's what Grammy used to call you when you were little and you were being a pain in the ass. You were being a scooch. Just tell Wednesday and Friday that you have treats and belly rubs. Jessica, trust me. She gets all the treats and belly rubs, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Right? sit here on my lap. You are taking us on a field trip. Do I need a permission slip, says Keith. The goal is to take you guys with me. The Wi-Fi strength is something that I need to test ahead of time, and also figure out the logistics of, am I going to be able to do the War Room at War Room day and time? But we're working on it. But I'm going on an adventure this summer. So yes, more details coming. But yes, the plan is to take you guys on a little adventure, and that's going to happen later this summer. So I got to let the bosses know first. That's why I can't say anything, because I haven't told all the radio stations I'm going out of town yet. So I'll let you know. And a reminder, this is 3,200 people and counting. The Mistress Carrie Veterans Rock Group on Facebook. We've really got a handle now on blocking off anybody that doesn't belong in there. This is a place for veteran-only content. This is about events. This is about resources. This is about nonprofits. This is about veteran-owned businesses. This is about businesses that are looking to hire veterans. And it's a place to ask questions about resources or treatments, or if you're looking for veteran friends, you're having a hard time tracking people down. It is just a hub for all things veteran. So if you're watching on Facebook and you're not a member of the Mistress Carrie Veterans Rock Group yet, just search Mistress Carrie Veterans Rock Group and just join. It's a public group. It's open to everybody, as long as you're there to discuss veterans things and to take part, to volunteer, all of those kinds of things. So join the group, because there's a lot of great stuff going on. And like I said, there's a bonus episode of the podcast coming up later this week that is veteran related. So I'll let you guys know more about that. Right? She's laying across my knees right now. So there you go, guys. That's everything going on this week. Right? What are you doing? What are you doing? That's literally the sound of my life. Like, I don't remember what it was like to fall asleep and not hear that while I'm sleeping all night when I'm watching television, and she's literally laying on my chest, and I have to turn the television up because she snores so loud. Right? Yeah, this is just what you want. You just want to sit like a person, to be involved in the show, and me rubbing your belly. Right? Is that what you want? Look at your beautiful face. Christine says, I went to Limp Bizkit and Metallica Friday. Great show. That does not surprise me at all. Let's see. Oh, hold on. The comments are frozen. Let me catch up. Travis says, love being a member of the group. Travis, you contribute a lot of stuff. It's awesome. Bish says, pug snorts. I know. Janine says, I love the pug snorts. Pity snore too, says Annette. Pug ASMR. I know. I probably should wire a microphone by the pug bed and just record them breathing and snoring all night and put that up on YouTube, or for some kind of membership that people can buy. The dog snoring would probably make more money than I do on the radio, which would just be ridiculous. Between my snoring pugs ASMR and the OnlyFans that everybody tells me I should have for having 2 different size feet, I'm sitting on a fortune that I'm just not using. So there you go. All right, guys, that is episode 317 of the podcast. Don't forget, 317 of the War Room. Don't forget the podcast. Episode 262 comes out at midnight tonight with Keith Wallen from Breaking Benjamin. And I'll be back on the radio tomorrow morning on Laser starting at 6, on 98 Rock starting at 10, on the Pike and the Bone starting at 3. So let's see. Hold on. Hillary says, I'm hiring at Lazy River Products in Tewksbury. Would love to have some veterans apply. Hillary, post that up on the Veterans Rock Group, because there are a lot of veterans that are looking for work. And if you're looking to hire veterans, depending on what the skill set is that you're looking for, that's the kind of stuff that we set up the group for. That's the whole reason it's there. So, Hey, kids, sorry I'm late. Will, we're just getting ready to go, but you made it in under the wire. Congratulations. Jason says, show me a cute pug that doesn't snore. They all snore. So, Travis says 98 Rock in Shreveport, Louisiana. No, Charleston, South Carolina. There's a lot of 98 Rocks. There's one in Baltimore. There's one, I think, in Sacramento. There's a bunch of 98 Rocks. I don't know why. They're not all owned by the same company. It's just a very common frequency for rock stations. But no, I'm on 98 Rock in Charleston, South Carolina. So there you go. All right, guys. New episode of the podcast at midnight. Don't forget, a bonus episode is coming later this week. So if you're not already subscribed to the podcast, subscribe so that you don't miss the bonus stuff. And I will see you guys next week. So Friday, you want to say goodnight? Say thank you to everybody. There she is. You want to say thank you to everybody for the birthday wishes? Come here. Say goodnight, everybody. Good night. Say goodnight. Okay. Try not to go shit on the floor. Thank you. Good night, guys.